The manhwa commences with barbarians setting houses ablaze and slaying villagers. As the villagers flee, an individual bravely approaches the marauders. Simultaneously, a woman implores a barbarian for mercy, entreating, "Kindly spare me. Please, spare the child, if anything." The barbarian responds, "Shall I? We're withdrawing anyway." He persists, "No, it's too loud, so perish." The barbarian, intending to strike down the woman and child, swings his sword, but his arm is abruptly severed and falls to the ground. Bewildered, he inquires about his lost arm, accompanied by a piercing scream of pain. Subsequently, the barbarian identifies the individual responsible for severing his limb, exclaiming, "You bastard! You are Gwiyoung." Gwiyoung proceeds to sever the barbarian's head. Among the barbarians, encountering Gwiyoung signifies inevitable demise. He is viewed as a figure akin to the Grim Reaper. GWI stands for ghost, and Young in Hanja means shadow. Essentially, he is known as Gwiyoung, signifying ghost's shadow. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Sejong comments, if they label him the ghost shadow among those barbarians, could he not be an exceedingly formidable ally? The village chief inquires, but what's the use? We were defenseless when the barbarians raided, claiming a month was too distant. Life in the northern region is a perpetual hell. Come winter, it's either freezing to death or falling prey to barbarians. I don't know if His Majesty is genuinely unaware or feigning ignorance. Likely, he deems this region a cursed land, forsaken by the nation. In an unexpected turn, Sejong faces a sudden attack from a child, thwarted by Sunmung. Sunmung questions, "What do you think you're doing? Do you want to die?" The enraged child retorts, "How dare a Yangban bastard like you act so hypocritically, showing up only after it's all over?" Sunmung warns, "That's quite a vulgar mouth. I'll have to cut off that tongue." Sejong intervened, stating, "No, it's fine. The child isn't at fault." However, their conversation was disrupted as the child addressed his sister Dongi, exclaiming, "Stop trying to stop me. Let go. I said, let go. Don't you find it disgusting?" Dongi apologized, saying, "I apologize, my lord." This left Sejong in a state of confusion. The village chief elucidated, those children lost their entire family to the barbarians 7 years ago. The entire village was decimated in one night, and it seems the children have struggled to find their place anywhere since. They've been wandering around, here and there. Sejong conveyed his concern, stating, "Oh dear." The village chief added, "And that's not all. The woman over there became a widow last year, losing her husband to those bastards. Now, she has lost her only son to them as well. Conversely, those children lost their mother 2 summers ago and have now lost their father too. Every time a village is plundered, countless children are left orphaned in such a manner." Sejong realized, the situation is much more severe than I thought. We must expedite the formation of the informer, locate Gwiyoung immediately. Subsequently, numerous villagers gathered in front of the notice board. Conversing among themselves, one of them inquired, "What does that say?" The second person asked, "Does anyone here know how to read characters?" They lamented, "The nation has posted a notice for a change, but the people are mostly illiterate, damn it." A person in the crowd attempted to decipher the notice but struggled to understand its contents. Sunmung approached and explained, "Gwiyoung, the notice says the king is seeking Gwiyoung and plans to award him a jade plaque. His Majesty's royal bodyguards are being assembled, and they intend to transfer Gwiyoung there." One of the gathered individuals inquired, "Jade plaque? Isn't that where you can secure something good without needing to take a test?" Another person remarked, "If it's the king's bodyguard, then it's not just Myeonkian, it's a chance to shape your destiny, isn't it?" Sunmung inquired, "Gwiyoung is quite renowned in this northern region. Is there anything you know about him?" One person remarked, "If you mention Gwiyoung, there are rumors circulating." Another individual added, "But has anyone actually laid eyes on him?" Granny Jiang from the Undertown claims she has. She mentioned his stature being over 2 cheoks. A woman interjected, "Oh, come on, what are you talking about? I heard he resembles a hunchback monster." Anyway, Gwiyoung is a mysterious figure, elusive to others. They say he engages in slaughter out of anger, and we're not even certain if he restricts it to the barbarians. Sunmung commented, "So there's no concrete information about him. How unfortunate. It's a chance to transform your life." Meanwhile, an observer from a distance approached a nearby hut to have a meal. As he settled, a woman came over, asking, "What would you like?" The person responded, "Give me a bowl of tokju." Just then, Tail intervened, suggesting, "Bring 2 bowls, let's share the table, would that be alright?" The person pointed out, "There are many empty tables, though, Tail insisted, this is the only place. I want to sit, is that answer enough? The person questioned, do you have any business with me? Tail replied, you're Gwiyoung, aren't you? The person inquired, yes? Why do you think that? Tail recounted a year ago, mentioning that he had encountered the person vaguely, as the distinction between Yangban and Chanman was unclear to barbarians. Tail asserted that, although you might not recall, but you had rescued me then and I have been searching for you ever since. Gwiyoung refuted Tail's assertion, denying having done such an act and believing Tail had mistaken him for someone else. Tail acknowledged the possibility of error but questioned if Gwiyoung knew about the belief that vengeful spirits of those they had killed haunt them. He shared that his father had informed him, revealing that the selection of His Majesty's bodyguards aimed to subdue the barbarians in the northern region, forming a special force organized by the king himself. Gwiyoung questioned Tail's certainty about the Jurchens, and Tail affirmed it as a well-established fact. He clarified that both he and his father had been working to subdue those responsible for his mother's death the previous year. Tail speculated that Gwiyoung must harbor his own grudge and reason due to the barbarian slaughter. He suggested walking together on a path to eliminate the barbarian's bloodline, extending material and emotional support to aid Gwiyoung in his mission. Gwiyoung inquired of Tail, what's your name? Tail responded, I must have been carried away. I am from the Tay family. I'm Tail. While drinking a bowl of wine, Gwiyoung stated, you may even die because of me. If you're willing, then I will follow you. Tail retorted, do you think I've come searching for you without being willing to die, Gwiyoung? The scene then shifted to a government office where a child declared, no, sir. I'm that Gwiyoung. He urged his sister, hey, Dongi, hurry up and say something already. You don't even believe me. Sejong inquired, what's all this noise? Old man explained, have you come, sir? That crazy child is claiming to be Gwiyoung. Not only that, all these people are asserting that they are Gwiyoung. Since no one clearly knows who Gwiyoung is, it seems people have gathered due to His Majesty's jade plaque, which has the potential to change their lives. Sejong stated, it's apparent they're just ragtags at first glance, but do you genuinely believe the real Gwiyoung is among them? The old man responded, well, probably. Just then, Tail arrived at the government office, urging, please clear the way. Passing through. I've come after hearing that you're looking for Gwiyoung. I come together with Gwiyoung while pointing at him. A person from the gathered crowd questioned, that fellow's Gwiyoung? Do you have evidence? I'm Gwiyoung, you big mouths. Tail stated, how interesting. You're Gwiyoung? When I don't even see anything from you? Sejong do. Inquired, the one called the Ghost's Shadow, are you Gwiyoung? Tail affirmed that's correct, Your Excellency, he has personally witnessed Gwiyoung. Gwiyoung then questioned, let me ask you, is the actual goal of forming the king's bodyguards to create a special force to subjugate the barbarians is true? I believe that the responsibility for the ongoing conflict between Joseon and Jurchen lies within this nation. It has been several decades already. Previous king, by expressing hostility towards Jurchen, initiated this destructive cycle. In response, Jurchen has made efforts to appear favorable to Joseon. However, what actions has the current king of this nation taken? I believe the root of this problem lies in the neglect of the king of this nation. Tail exclaimed, look here. Just what exactly are you saying right now? Sejong stated, what a sophist. However, you aren't completely wrong either. Even still, are you planning on turning away from the responsibility of correcting the past? Whatever the past may be, the actions taken now are important. And Joseon has never given up on this northern region. Gwiyoung retorted, don't make me laugh. If you want to speak up for Joseon, then tell the king to come right here, right now, and say that with his own lips. Tail intervened, Gwiyoung, stop. Sejong explained, so, isn't that why I'm telling you? Coming here, himself, with his own lips, making all the people confused. As people asked each other, one said, what? He's who? Another said, so, he's the king. A third stated, I think that's what I heard too. Consequently, the entire gathered crowd knelt before him, saying sire, except Gwiyoung. Tail urged, look here, Gwiyoung. What are you doing right now? Kneel. At that moment, a woman entered, informing the guard, she has come after seeing the notice. She heard they were searching for Gwiyoung. She personally saw Gwiyoung. The guard inquired, have you seen Gwiyoung? The woman affirmed, yes, when the barbarians barged in last night, Gwiyoung himself saved me and my child. Her expression turned worried as she noticed someone in front. Sejong questioned, what's the matter? The old man explained, it appears there is a survivor from last night's massacre. She seems to have come to find Gwiyoung. Meanwhile, the woman cowered on the ground out of fear, exclaiming, Why is there a barbarian here? How did a demon-like fellow? The guard intervened, asking, what are you saying right now? That man is Gwiyoung. The woman insisted, I saw it clearly amongst the barbarians. That man was ripping apart and killing people of Joseon. Tail addressed Gwiyoung, stating, look here, Gwiyoung, what is that woman saying, right? The Gwiyoung declared, my name is Makan, and I am a barbarian. I am quite lucky. I have come to catch Gwiyoung if what you say is true, then Gwiyoung alone isn't the problem. King of Joseon, Sejong do. I will kill you today and I will unify Jurchen. Tail questioned, what are you saying right now? The Makan asserted, I'm sure I told you, Tail, that you may die because of me. Someone rushed to attack Makan, stating, how dare such a crazy fellow like you, on Joseon soil. However, he was instantly killed by Makan, leaving the onlookers frozen in fear. Meanwhile, someone urged, what are you doing? Run at him together. However, Makan systematically killed them one after another. Tail, with serious injuries lying on the ground, pondered, why was I so stupid? Why didn't I realize that the spirits on him are all vindictive spirits from the people of Joseon? The old man instructed, escort the king, Isunmong. Where's Isunmong? The guard responded, he's outside per His Majesty's order. The Makan questioned, where do you think you're off to, the man who calls himself king? The child from before asked the guard, let me borrow this for a bit and snatched the guard's spear. Makan charged to kill Sejong do, declaring, apologize to my fellow countrymen in the afterlife. Die, King of Joseon. Makan was struck by a spear, and child stated, wow. I was aiming for an instant death though. Dongi, it's like you said. He's quite good, for a barbarian, while casually kicking the spear. The Makan demanded, how dare you? Who are you, you bastard? Meanwhile, the child skillfully twirled the spear that had pierced the Makan, causing him to cough blood. Sejong do said, you're that child. But was interrupted when the child declared, who am I? Just how many times do I have to tell you that I'm Gwiyoung? Tail thought while observing the child, there he was. The real Gwiyoung. Wounded Makan knelt on the ground and asked, are you the real Gwiyoung? Gwiyoung responded, yes, how many times do I have to tell you? I am Gwiyoung. You're the fake. The Makan, breaking the spear and stood up, stating, nice timing. You are the enemy of the Jurchens. I came here to kill you. Die with the king. Suddenly, Gwiyoung punched the barbarian in the face, causing him to briefly lose consciousness. Gwiyoung stated, you talk too much. You're likely to die in an instant, as he kicked the Makan, pushing him backward. Realizing Gwiyoung was stronger and that he had no chance, Makan saw an opening and attempted to attack Sejong do. However, Isunmong appeared in front of Makan and cut his hand. Isunmong questioned, what's going on? Did you do this? The old man present at the scene asked Isunmong, what took you so long? Don't you know how dangerous the situation is? Isunmong replied, I was just following His Majesty's orders. The old man warned, you should keep this in mind. We're not going to just let this go. Sejong do intervened, saying, you mustn't kill him. There are many things we need to hear from this man. Do not take his life. Sunmong agreed, saying, yes, Your Majesty, I will do as you say. In the moment, Makan was pierced by a broken spear thrown by Gwiyoung. Rushing forward, Gwiyoung struck Makan's face, causing him to fall to the ground. Gwiyoung continued to hit him, shouting, die, you barbarian, die, leaving the onlookers confused. Isunmong intervened, questioning Gwiyoung's sanity and reminding him of the Majesty's orders to spare Makan's life. Gwiyoung responded, pointing out the hellish situation before them, the hell created by Makan and the hell he had endured countless times. He recounted the burning of his village, the slaughter of his people, and the deaths of his parents at the hands of these barbarians. Gwiyoung expressed disbelief at the idea of sparing their lives instead of tearing them apart. Dongi, his sister, pleaded for him to stop, expressing fear. Gwiyoung hesitated but continued to argue. Sejong do questioned, what are you doing? Gwiyoung pleaded, you should have seen my talent. Please give me a position and use me as you please. Please give my sister Dongi a chance to start a new life. Sejong do responded, being granted a position and becoming one of my men. Is it all because of your sister? Gwiyoung affirmed, in a hellhole like this, he at least wants his sister to live a normal life. Sejong do concluded he disapproves, and Gwiyoung asked why. He questioned if it was because of his earlier disobedience to the Majesty's orders or his attempt to punch him. Sejong clarified that it was neither of those reasons but Gwiyoung's attempt to join, solely for his sister, leading to his disapproval. Gwiyoung inquired, "Why is that?" Isumong replied, "Hey, just give up. You should be grateful for being alive after such disobedience." Dongi reassured, "Brother, it's okay. Let's just go back." Gwiyoung and Dongi then left the government office. Isumong questioned, "Why didn't you tell him?" Sejong explained, "It's too shameless." As Dongi and Gwiyoung walked back to their house, Dongi expressed her concerns, saying, "Brother, she won't let you do as you please like before. Do you expect me to be brought in by a noble house alone? By selling yourself?" Gwiyoung asked, "Why do you say it like that? You two know all of the details." Dongi replied, "Well, she would consider it if you would come with me." Gwiyoung shared, 5 years ago, the day the barbarians killed both our parents, he made a promise with father, that he would protect you no matter what. Dongi said, "Don't worry about me, you've already protected me for a long time, haven't you? It's great to have you by my side, brother." Gwiyoung expressed, "I also feel great to be with you." Suddenly, an arrow narrowly missed Gwiyoung and hit Dongi. Seeing that, Gwiyoung worriedly exclaimed, "Dongi." Group of barbarians approached, and the leader of the barbarian group stated he missed. He continued, "The one you killed, Makan, he was strong but dumb, but thanks to him, we were able to track you down, Gwiyoung." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung reassured, "I got you, Dongi. Don't worry." The barbarian questioned, "What's the matter with him all of a sudden? Is he out of his mind?" Dongi warned, "Brother, behind you." As the barbarian attacked Gwiyoung, the attack was blocked by Isumong. While questioning Gwiyoung, Isumong said, "What is this?" Gwiyoung asked Dongi if she was fine, and she replied, "Brother, I'm okay." The barbarian laughed, saying, "Another run to kill. You should have thought before taking action, so die now." However, the barbarian was instantly killed by Isumong, leaving the remaining barbarians surprised. Isumong addressed Gwiyoung, stating, "Hey, Gwiyoung again? You really want to die?" Gwiyoung, while crying, conveyed that Dongi was dead. The barbarians began talking among themselves, expressing shock at Isumong's presence. One barbarian said, "Wait, that man is Isumong." The second asked, "What, Isumong?" Third questioned, "No way, why is he here?" The fourth stated, "You saw too, the swordsmanship." The leader of the barbarian group decided, "Retreat, everyone fall back." Isumong questioned, "Hey, what are you doing?" Not receiving a response from Gwiyoung, Isumong loudly demanded, "Hey, I asked you a question." Gwiyoung declared, "I'll kill every last one of them." He then ran behind the barbarians with a sword in hand. The barbarian leader thought, "No way, Isumong." Isumong, the man said to be equal to Choi Yundeok, wondered why this man was in the northern regions and felt the need to spread the word. Gwiyoung approached from behind, cutting one of the barbarian's arms, saying, "That hand held the bow." The barbarian turned around, exclaiming, "You bastard." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung used the sword to cut the remaining arm and said, "This hand pulled the bowstring." Gwiyoung then punched the barbarian, causing him to fall to the ground. Gwiyoung pointed the sword in front of the barbarian's eye and said, "And this I aimed for my sister?" A little while later, Sejong asked Isumong if he was sure Gwiyoung went that way. Isumong confirmed, stating that Gwiyoung went after the enemy chief, so he was certain. He also mentioned a critical problem with giving Gwiyoung the position of informer. Sejong commented that Gwiyoung was approaching, remarking that the term ghost shadow suited him well. Isumong called out to Gwiyoung, who was taken aback when he saw his sister alive. Gwiyoung questioned Dongi, asking how it was possible. Dongi explained that the Majesty himself had come and saved her and inquired if Gwiyoung had been hurt. Gwiyoung expressed gratitude to the Majesty. Sejong asked Gwiyoung if he was happy to see his sister alive. Unsuspectingly, Sejong unsheathed the sword of Isumong and swung it at Dongi, stating that she was around here, right? Meanwhile, Gwiyoung questioned Sejong actions, asking what he was doing. Sejong asked if he had slashed Dongi, correctly and questioned how it was. He added that she would revive anyway. Confused, Gwiyoung asked Sejong what he was saying, using profanity. Sejong urged Gwiyoung to think and reminded him of the invasion 5 years ago by the Jurchen. He revealed that Gwiyoung was the only survivor, and his sister had died that day. Sejong emphasized that what Gwiyoung was holding at that moment was nothing. Gwiyoung looked down at his arm, realizing that Dongyi was not there. He exclaimed, Dongyi! Dongyi! Where are you? Sejong interjected, saying, Gwiyoung, I have investigated all the rumors surrounding you. They all suggest that you are unable to cope with the loss of your sister to the barbarians and that you have lost your sanity. Gwiyoung responded, What nonsense! You all saw it. We were together, even in the village that was massacred and at the government office. Everyone witnessed it with their own eyes. Gwiyoung turned to General Lee Soon-mong and asked, You also saw it, right? Even when I was hit by the barbarian arrow earlier? Lee Soon-mong replied, No, throughout the day, you have been alone. Gwiyoung then remembered what everyone had said to him earlier. Lee Soon-mong questioned, Hey, what are you really doing right now? The barbarians questioned, What's wrong with this guy? Why is he suddenly acting crazy? At the government office, Gwiyoung found himself alone, engaging in self-dialogue, leaving bystanders perplexed. Lee Soon-mong interrupted, stating, Your sister was never there. Gwiyoung recalled his father's words, You must protect Dongyi. Whatever happens, Gwiyoung, you must protect your sister. Suddenly, the barbarian killed his father right in front of him while Gwiyoung and his sister hide under a nearby house. A little later, Gwiyoung was running away from the barbarians. He thought to himself, he is not going to let them get him. One day, he will kill them. He stopped abruptly when he saw Grandpa Kong. Old Kong exclaimed, It's you! Gwiyoung! You're safe, you're alive. But how come? Is it only you and Dongyi? Are you the only two who made it out of the village? What about your mother and father? Gwiyoung replied, Those bastards dragged away mother and killed father. And under the floor, Old Kong interrupted him, saying, Enough, it's fine. It's fine if you two made it alive. Suddenly, Old Kong noticed an arrow that had hit Dongyi while Gwiyoung was running away from the barbarians. He exclaimed, She's still breathing. Gwiyoung reached for the arrow, but Old Kong stopped him, saying, You can't pull it out. There's a boat that I've ridden by the quay. If we take that, we'll be able to slip past the barbarians to the next village over. We need to see a physician as quickly as possible and get treatment. Just as Old Kong finished speaking, an arrow pierced his head and killing him. Gwiyoung looked in the direction from where the arrow came and saw barbarians approaching. Gwiyoung quickly picked Dongyi up on his back and started to run away from them. The barbarian leader commanded, After him. Gwiyoung placed Dongyi on the boat and began to cross the river with haste. Dongyi called out, Brother! Gwiyoung reassured her, saying, Hold on a bit, Dongyi. I'll save you. One of the barbarians exclaimed, We lost him. The second barbarian suggested, It seems like little child, so should we just go? However, the barbarian leader ordered, Shoot a fire arrow. Leave no room for doubt. Shoot a fire arrow. An arrow struck the boat, causing Gwiyoung to look up and see a large number of arrows approaching. He swiftly moved towards Dongyi to shield her from the incoming arrows. One by one, the arrows hit the boat, ultimately destroying it and causing Gwiyoung and Dongyi to fall into the water. Gwiyoung desperately tried to save his sister, but his efforts were in vain. In the present, Gwiyoung shouted, No, Dongyi, no! Sejong apologized, saying, I'm sorry for failing to protect your sister, your parents, your village, for failing to protect them all. It's something I should have done as ruler, but I couldn't. So blame me, and blame this nation, for not doing anything. Unburden yourself from the guilt of failing to protect your family and let go of your sister now. Dongyi stated, Brother, it hurts a lot, right? Gwiyoung acknowledged, I see, my dear Dongyi, my sister. Since that day, you haven't grown at all. Dongyi expressed her gratitude, saying, Brother, thank you, and then disappeared. Gwiyoung started to cry again. Sejong spoke to him, saying, Gwiyoung resentment and hatred, if he could forget all of it and live an ordinary life, Sejong pledged to make that happen. However, if Gwiyoung were to live the rest of his life with that rage in his heart, catching cows and pigs like a butcher, then Sejong vowed to open up a better path for him. A northern spearhead, the most elite organization created only to confront the Jurchens, was proposed, that's the informer. Gwiyoung was presented with the idea of becoming an informer and using his rage to protect the nation and its people, in what Sejong acknowledged as a shameless request from the king. Upon hearing this, Gwiyoung inquired, "Can you find that man?" Sejong sought clarification, asking, "What man?" Gwiyoung responded, "I've recalled it. The one who burnt down his village, killed my family, killed Dongi, that man." Sejong then advised, "Accept this. Come carrying the jade plaque with you when winter passes and we recruit the royal forces. If you do that, you'll be able to reach me immediately. And from that moment then, you'll become an informer." The women exclaimed, "Bakesuk is here," and Gwiyoung expressed admiration, stating, "Wow, that looks delicious. Here Dongi, eat up." In his thoughts, he realized, he forgot she disappeared. Sunmon declared, "I'll eat it." "Have you been well, Gwiyoung?" In response, Gwiyoung questioned, "General Sunmon, what brought you here?" Sunmon politely requested, "Ma'am, please give me some tokju. There's no alcohol after setting a table. Do you live without knowing the joy of life? Do you still see your sister?" Gwiyoung sadly replied, "No, not anymore." Sunmon sympathetically acknowledged, "I see. Have a drink, Gwiyoung. You sent your sister off, and it's your first step to becoming an adult." Gwiyoung humbly responded, "I'm still a bit young." "General, you, along with General Choi Yundeok, are famous figures, leading as Joseon's best swords." Curious, Gwiyoung asked, "But what's the reason that you're paying this much attention to someone like him?" Sunmon explained, "I like interesting fellows. He was also the one to find out about you with His Majesty's order. It's interesting, from having the ability to kill others at that age to the countless records earned from that name." Gwiyoung inquired about his nickname, Ghost Shadow. Sunmon proudly confirmed, "That's right, GWI from Gwishin to Young from Shadow. Isn't that amazing?" Gwiyoung then shared the meaning of his own name, GWI, Hanjafor Precious, and Young, Hanjafor Welcome. That's his name. Sunmon apologized, stating that it was his nature not to think deeply about his original thoughts. However, he urged Gwiyoung not to forget the past and emphasized that the future would require a journey to clean up that past and move forward on a new path. Sunmon suggested that Gwiyoung and he have a bowl together, and cheer on Gwiyoung's new life, offering a warm welcome. Gwiyoung agreed and drank the bowl. Sunmon commented on Gwiyoung's swift intoxication, leading to his prompt slumber, stating that the ghost shadow had not yet become an adult. Sunmon had expected it to take more time but found it uninteresting because it was too easy. While Sunmon searched Gwiyoung, he discovered a jade plaque. Upon leaving, he quipped, "Didn't I tell you, Gwiyoung? I appreciate interesting fellows." He urged Gwiyoung to have some fun and instructed others not to disturb the sleeping individual. Later that night, Gwiyoung woke up and realized it was already dark. He wondered if General Sunmon had left. Remembering Sunmon's words about not forgetting the past and the journey to clean it up, Gwiyoung affirmed that he wouldn't forget and saw it as just the beginning. He believed that the recruitment of the royal forces, mentioned by the king, had begun and understood that it involved picking informers. Gwiyoung vowed to become an informer and seek revenge for Dongi. Gwiyoung became confused as he didn't find the jade plaque, and realized it was gone. The jade plaque the king gave him had disappeared. The scene shifted to a person saying, "Is this really the place? What kind of royal forces recruitment is held up in the mountains?" The second person said, "Man, I said it's here. Can't you even tell just by looking at the people gathered here? Looks like everyone from this area has gathered here." The first person asked, "Just how many people is this? The chance of making it does seem slim. Looks like there'll be one person ranking below me at least." The second person said, "Wait, even a child like that has applied? Goodness." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung delved deeper into his thoughts, contemplating the absence of the jade plaque. The old person said, "All right, next. Who and where are you from?" Gwiyoung said, "I'm from Mucheong, and my name's Gwiyoung." However, he had actually come after getting a jade plaque but lost it on the way there. The old man asked, "If it's a jade plaque, then it's for a transfer that doesn't need to take the test, but a child like you has that? What sort of person gave you that plaque?" Gwiyoung said, "Yes, well, the king gave it to me." The old man said, "Crazy fellow, take him out." The person introduced him as Kim Jang, the charge of the Northern Royal Forces recruitment. He assured them that while the conditions for selection were great, the selection standards were even stricter. He explained that the organization they were choosing to join was completely different from existing standards and emphasized the dangerous nature of the mission they would be expected to carry out. He made it clear that luck and tricks would not be enough to succeed in this endeavor. Kim Jang expressed his disbelief at someone who spoke nonsense about losing the king's jade plaque and warned that this mission would be too much for him to handle. He decided to begin the first test immediately, which involved retrieving a red feathered arrow from the top of the mountain. However, he informed them that there were only 10 arrows available, while there were currently 30 participants. He asked if they understood the situation. After the start of the first test, Kim Jang noticed Gwiyoung standing and called him out, asking what he was doing. Gwiyoung quickly apologized, explaining that he was just surprised. Ordered by Kim Jang to run instantly, Gwiyoung obediently responded, "Yes, sir." While in motion, Gwiyoung lamented, "Damn it. How did I lose the jade plaque? With 10 arrows, do I have to secure a place within the 10th position? I've fallen so far behind, will I be able to catch up?" Observing people unconscious on the ground, Gwiyoung halted in confusion and inquired, "What is this?" Simultaneously, an assailant swung a wooden stick from behind. Gwiyoung, startled, replied, "You scared me." The Dumak explained, the supervisor mentioned 10 arrows, but he never said there'd be 10 to pass. "Let's knock out those we can see, chase out others, and steal the arrows from the ones coming down the mountain. Do you even understand what we're saying? The ones to pass are just us 4. Despite a rushed attack, as the Dumak swung a wooden stick, Gwiyoung skillfully snatched it and struck him with it in return. Gwiyoung inquired, "Just how did you guys come up with such a brilliant idea?" Gwiyoung critiqued, "It's a rotten branch. It just looks flashy, but in reality, it doesn't have much of an impact. You shouldn't have brought such a lousy weapon after coming up with such a brilliant plan." Dumak exclaimed, "This is unbelievable. What are the rest of you doing? Beat him up right now." At another exam site, an individual asserted, "You punk, don't push me, I'm first." Lee Soon-mong inquired, "Has General Choi also come?" General Choi directed, "Lee Soon-mong, why did you even come stand next to me? Go stand over there." Lee Soon-mong commented, "Wow, quite a lot have gathered. It's extremely crowded." General Choi explained, "There's no choice. If it goes well, not only can they finish their military service in a blink of an eye, they can even get a chance for Myeongkian, where they won't even have to worry about hiding their identity." Lee Soon-mong observed, "The conditions His Majesty has offered are quite unprecedented." General Choi affirmed, "That's just how serious he is about establishing informers this time." Lee Soon-mong inquired, "Let's see, where's our little Gwiyoung? Is that him?" "No," General Choi asked, "Gwiyoung, are you talking about the child that Majesty personally bestowed a jade plaque on last winter? I'm sure those with jade plaques are gathered elsewhere." Lee Soon-mong stated, "Yes, well, that's true. It's due to some circumstances that he had to partake in this test himself," Lee Soon-mong explained. Expressing disbelief, General Cole found it ridiculously absurd for a child like Gwiyoung to possess a jade plaque, emphasizing that such privileges were reserved for the elite informers dispatched by the king to the northern region. He questioned whether Gwiyoung had the right to hold such an honor. In response, Lee Soon-mong defended Gwiyoung's eligibility, citing his exceptional talents and physical prowess. Lee Soon-mong highlighted Gwiyoung's history of successfully navigating pillaging sites and fending off barbarians since the age of 12. He stressed the significance of practical battle experience for a swordsman, combining it with Gwiyoung's innate talent, making him a heaven-sent talent. During an attack, Gwiyoung skillfully dodged and retaliated, poking one attacker's eye. Another assailant attempted a sneak attack from behind, but Gwiyoung evaded and delivered a powerful kick to the groin, causing considerable pain. A confident third attacker approached, exclaiming, "Got you, you little..." Striking at Gwiyoung's face, the impact shattered the branch. Gwiyoung reiterated the ineffectiveness of a flashy but rotten branch, and the third person dismissed it as nonsense. Despite Dumak's encouragement to disregard the rotten branch and finish Gwiyoung, when the third person attempted another attack, Gwiyoung responded with a powerful punch, causing the assailant to crash to the ground. Confidently, Gwiyoung acknowledged the impact of a rotten branch, explaining its effectiveness as a weapon that eliminates the need for multiple strikes. He asserted that just one strike could render someone unconscious. Dumak exclaimed, "Wait, fine. I got it. I'll take back what I said earlier. The successful candidates are us too. What do you say?" Gwiyoung replied, Well, is that necessary? If it's with your logic, brother, it's all over if I'm the only one to pass, isn't it? Dumak retorted, foolish child. No matter how incredible you are, do you think you can handle the rest of them alone? It's possible if it's the two of us. Look at these muscles. Aren't they trustworthy? And I'm not a brother. You're strong, but you're lacking the resourcefulness as a child. You'll need a tactician. Oh dear child, what's your name? He replied, it's Gwiyoung. Dumak pondered, Gwiyoung. I feel like I've heard that name before. In any case, it's a good name. Alright, I've always dreamt of this sort of development. Gwiyoung, be my associate. A little later, Gwiyoung asked, what do you think, Dumak? Dumak responded, there isn't even a single rat in sight. Gwiyoung expressed concern, that's strange. It's well past the time when the ones who have reached the top of the mountain first should be returning already. What do we do, Dumak? In response, Dumak stated, well, it seems that something must have happened at the top. We won't know for sure unless we've gone up ourselves. Gwiyoung agreed, indeed, Dumak, you're right. Dumak suggested, it'll be a good idea to reach the top of the mountain before the sunset, so let's hurry. In his thoughts, Dumak muttered, yeah, go, you ignorant punk. My plan's all gone up in smoke because I met someone like you. Gwiyoung urged, hurry up and come, Dumak. Confused, Dumak asked, me too? Gwiyoung responded, of course, you're not going to come? You said we should be associates. Dumak commented, he's a punk I don't really get, and I wonder how it's possible he could even get that strong at his young age too. But it's a relief that he seems a bit dull, he's still just a naive greenhorn. If I just use him well, then, he'll be the weapon to use while taking this test. A little while later, Gwiyoung announced, we're here, it's the top. Dumak complained, I said we should rest a bit as we go, you punk. The Sejong asked, you're late, are you two the last ones? What sort of petty tricks did you pull at the base of the mountain for you to just climb it now? Dumak observed the chaos and questioned the presence of a supervisor at the top. Gwiyoung, spotting a jade plaque on the supervisor, excitedly identified it. Sejong inquired if Gwiyoung comprehended the significance behind his welcoming demeanor. Gwiyoung shared his own history with a jade plaque, expressing the challenges he faced after losing it. Sejong accused Gwiyoung of discussing the jade plaque and questioned his knowledge of its existence. Emphasizing that the jade plaque signified acknowledgement by the king as the king's sword, Sejong dismissed Gwiyoung's right to speak about it. Dumak commented on Sejong's harsh words and assumed that he was from a Yangban household, questioning why he was acting like a supervisor in that place. Dumak mentioned that the test had a special condition where they weren't checking one's status, and questioned why Sejong was nitpicking at Gwiyoung's lowly and crude nature when strength should be enough. Sejong then challenged both Gwiyoung and Dumak to come at him at the same time, stating that if they were acknowledged by him, they could take an arrow. Dumak instructed Gwiyoung not to step up, as it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to punish a Yangban bastard without worries. Dumak rushed forward, swinging his sword, but Sejong adeptly dodged, gracefully stepping backward. Persisting in his attack, Sejong skillfully blocked Dumak's strikes. Dumak taunted, what do you think? The swordsmanship of a crude bastard is pretty spicy, isn't it? Because Yangban punks are raised preciously, you probably don't have any muscles either. I'll make you kneel like this. Sejong calmly replied, I didn't even have any expectations from the start. But as expected. Sejong landed a hit on Dumak, causing him to attempt to counter, yet Sejong effortlessly evaded. Subsequently, Sejong struck Dumak's leg, sending him crashing to the ground. Despite Dumak's efforts to rise, he received another precise hit from Sejong. He admonished, if you have lowly origins, then have a decent character at least. If your character is lowly, then humble yourself at least. If your skills are crude, then be careful at least. The confrontation between Sejong and Dumak was halted when Gwiyoung interjected, let's stop that here. Aren't you being too harsh? What about this looks like a royal force selection? Are you really intending on killing him amongst fellow people of Joseon? Sejong swiftly grabbed Gwiyoung by the neck, unbalancing him and causing him to fall. Sejong asserted, I told you already, that if your skills are crude, you should be careful. As Sejong raised his hand to strike Gwiyoung with his wooden sword, he realized it was missing. Gwiyoung revealed, looking for this. Sejong pondered, at what moment did he grab it from his hand? Dumak acknowledged, although his character is a bit lousy, his skills aren't crude at all. Meanwhile, Gwiyoung targeted Sejong's leg with the wooden sword, inflicting pain.
Gwiyoung inquired. What does he think? Does it hurt? Because he kept swinging it like a child's whip, he attempted hitting him once. Then Gwiyoung turned around asking, is it acceptable to speak casually to a young man? Demak replied, cease speaking nonsense and observe behind yourself. Attempting to strike Gwiyoung, Yujong found his attack expertly dodged. Impressed, Yujong acknowledged Gwiyoung's keen eyes and well-coordinated movements but criticized his lack of foundation and sloppy follow-through. While Gwiyoung aimed a kick at Yujong, the latter skillfully evaded the attack. Yujong admitted Gwiyoung's proficiency, especially in unconventional body-targeting moves, praising his natural talent and outstanding physical abilities. However, Yujong criticized Gwiyoung's wild and unrefined approach, attributing it to his lower birth, highlighting the contrast between them. Simultaneously, Gwiyoung countered by throwing dirt into Yujong's eyes and launching a shoulder attack with his sword. Gwiyoung scolded Yujong for excessive talking, stressing the need to focus on the fight, warning of the instant consequences of failure, even death. Yujong exclaimed, a scoundrel, resorting to petty tricks that hardly qualify as tricks. His insolent remarks reveal his true nature. I had initially considered letting him take an arrow, having briefly acknowledged him, but I've reconsidered. For dishonoring the king's bestowed jade plaque and tarnishing the meticulous process of selecting the king's swords with his deceitful skills, he deserves to lose an arm. Demak reacted, that madman! He's a lunatic! Gwiyoung countered, no, his actions are justified. This isn't child's play, he should do at least this much. However, since a real sword has been drawn, that side should be ready to lose an arm as well, Yujong remarked, acting defiant until the very end. I wonder if he'll maintain that bravado shortly. Let's see. As they swung at each other, both dropped their swords due to Kim Jang's interference. Kim Jang noted the absence of returnees and questioned what transpired. Confirming expectations, Yujong had prevented everyone from descending, even wielding a real sword. In response, Yujong stated that Kim Jang left it to him to distinguish among the candidates, and he merely fulfilled his role. Kim Jang expressed dissatisfaction, stating he didn't instruct Yujong to eliminate them all like this. Gwiyoung interjected, signaling his presence. Kim Jang referred to Gwiyoung as the Jade Plaque Boy, instructing Yujong to fetch an arrow, designating Gwiyoung as the successful candidate for Group 3. Yujong, picking up his sword, approached the arrows and effortlessly cut them in half. He reminded Kim Jang of the entrusted responsibility, asserting that in Group 3, none had passed. Frustrated, Kim Jang expressed his displeasure. Demak then presented a red-feathered arrow, and Gwiyoung questioned its origin. Demak revealed that during their fight, he discreetly pulled it from the tree. Demak addressed Kim Jang. I've brought the arrow as you instructed. According to the rules, I've passed, haven't I? Gwiyoung commented, crafty fellow. This is why they advise against associating with educated men. Kim Jang confirmed. Yes, you are the successful candidate for Group 3. Demak handed over the arrow, stating, here it is, just as I promised. I told you, right? To be my partner, I said. We could achieve it together. Kim Jang declared. A total of 2 from Group 3 have passed the first round test. Meanwhile, Gwiyoung rushed towards Demak and surprised him with a kiss on the cheek. Kim Jang advised Yujong, I don't know what's troubling you so much, but exercise moderation. The first round test aimed to assess stamina and endurance. If you persist like this, who will remain? Yujong responded, it's the informer selection. Wasn't this a test to choose exceptional elite soldiers? Those who won't make it to the final selection, including those dimwits. Kim Jang retorted. Dimwit, you say? You nearly lost an arm to that dimwit, Yujong questioned. What does that mean now? He then noticed pain in his arm, discovering the wound, leaving him puzzled. Kim Jang clarified. What I protected while mediating the earlier fight. Whose side do you think I was on? The following day, Gwiyoung exclaimed, damn it, I can't believe the test from yesterday wasn't the end. Demak responded, aside from our group, it seems many have passed in each group. We got stuck with a lousy proctor. Yi Sun-mong interrupted, instructing everyone to be quiet as he moved to the front of the group. Gwiyoung recognized him as General Yi Sun-mong. Yi Sun-mong then declared, I'm Yi Sun-mong, causing whispers among the gathered people. One person wondered, Yi Sun-mong. Is he claiming to be the Yi Sun-mong we all know? Another confirmed. Yes, Yi Sun-mong, the troublemaker of the world. A third person added, The one who fights alongside General Choi Yundiak and is Josian's best. What brings a man like him here to a royal forces selection? Yi Soo-mong showcased his archery skills by accurately hitting an apple from a distance. Onlookers marveled at his expertise, labeling him as the current Josian's best archer and a divine archer. Yi Sun-mung inquired, "Have they all seen that? That's his level." Yi Soo-mong explained the second round's simplicity, where participants only needed to stand still while he aimed to hit a melon with their red-feathered arrow. "It's child's play if it's a melon that isn't even the size of a plum." "Alright, who wants to come up first?" Manduk volunteered, saying, "Yes, I will go first." Yi Sun-mung responded, Good, I like seeing those guts, along with your trust in him." Manduk thought, if they have to do it anyway, then it's better to go first when General Yi Sun-mung's concentration is at its highest. If he's the first, then there's a near zero chance of making a mistake. Manduk, trembling with fear, declared, "I am ready," while widening his eyes as he saw Yi Sun-mung drinking alcohol. Damak inquired, "That over there, right now, isn't alcohol, is it?" Meanwhile, Yi Sun-mung mentioned, "Although it probably won't happen, by chance, even if the arrow enters your body, you'll pass if you just keep standing in place." As Yi Sun-mong released the arrow to hit the melon, Manduk, out of fear, observed the arrow's trajectory from his position and jumped aside. Yi Sun-mong exclaimed, "What the? You're ruining the fun!" Manduk pleaded, "Crazy. I did that unintentionally. Please give me another chance." Jinwoong approached him, declaring, "Second test, first candidate Manduk, you fail," while breaking the arrow. The second candidate repeated the same pattern, followed by the third candidate, and so on. Buxy surrendered, saying, "I give up. Please don't shoot me. I won't do it. I said I won't do it." The Jinwoong announced, 16th candidate Buxy fails. Kim Jang sighed, commenting, "Oh, geez, I don't know if we'll get anyone to pass here. Shall I say this is so typical of General Yi Sun-mong?" Yi Sun-mong sneered, "Pathetic fools. What do I expect from such fearful fools? No, are you saying that you have that little faith in me? Why the hell can't you do this easy thing and act like that? Next candidate, who will be the first one to pass?" Damak stepped forward, declaring, "I will do it." Gwiyoung asked Damak, "Will you be alright?" Damak reassured him, "Don't worry, there's a way." Yi Sun-mong remarked, "I like your confidence. To your position." Damak thought to himself, "There's a way to win in every test. I've seen through it this time as well." By nature, fear is fundamentally derived from visual information. The person shooting the arrow is none other than Yi Sun-mong. It won't miss. If that's the case, it's solved if I just don't look at him. Damak then said, "Alright, please shoot, sir." Gwiyoung praised Damak, saying, "As expected, Damak, you're brilliant. Even those muscles, looking at them, they also seem a bit cool." Yi Sun-mong stated, "Well, what a peculiar fool. Do as you please then." Damak expressed, "I'm in trouble. There's a variable I didn't even account for because I can't see it. It's scarier." While turning around, Damak requested, "One moment, please let me change my position." At the moment arrow hit the target, someone commented, "To turn around at the last moment. Is that even possible? What a fool." Kim Jang congratulated Damak, saying, "Congratulations on passing. You did well." Damak thought to himself, "I wet my pants a little." Yi Sun-mong then announced, "Alright, so we now have a person who has passed. Who will be next?" Ghost Shadow. "Isn't that you, Gwiyoung?" he questioned. "Why are you here?" Gwiyoung laughed. "Well, I lost the jade plaque because no one believed me." Someone asked, "What is that though?" Another person clarified, "Gwiyoung, that rascal is the rumored Ghost Shadow. In the north, he slaughters barbarians left and right as he sees them. He's very famous." A third person expressed disbelief. "What, that little child is him?" Damak stated, "I can't believe Gwiyoung is that famous Ghost Shadow. No wonder why it felt like I've heard his name somewhere." "That means the jade plaque story was all real then, doesn't it?" Kim Jang explained, "This child did speak of a jade plaque, but he had to take the test because he didn't have proof. Because it's true, this child can be recruited immediately." Yi Sun-mong expressed, "Come on, do we have to?" Kim Jang inquired, "What?" Yi Sun-mong clarified, "Well, it's true that he doesn't have the jade plaque currently. Moreover, these sorts of tests have their own charm, don't they? Now, with things like this, let's just do this. Leave the arrow and go to your position, Gwiyoung." Damak observed, "As expected of Yi Sun-mong, he's firm. Then again, there's no question there will be controversy over fairness if he gives preferential treatment towards Gwiyoung, who lost the jade plaque. Su-mong considered. Take it easy, relax. Despite that, it appears to promise a lot of enjoyment. I'm curious about Ghost's shadow revealed to me the accuracy of my eyes and showcase your talent. Jinwoong reflected. Just now, I'm sure. He was aiming for the head. Yujong thought. It's intentional. It isn't a mistake. Gwiyoung thought. It's dangerous. I have to dodge. Damak advised Gwiyoung. You fail if you dodge it, endure it. Meanwhile, Gwiyoung dodged the arrow. Onlookers exclaimed. He dodged it. He failed. However, Gwiyoung caught the flying arrow with his hand, leaving the onlookers shocked. Gwiyoung then pierced the melon with the arrow and asked, If I do this, then can it be a pass? Su-mong burst into laughter, stating, Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Of course, it's definitely a pass. You don't let me down. You're really something. Alright, then let's quickly finish the rest. I'm getting tired. Next is... Then Dami stood in position. Su-mong acknowledged. Yes, then. Kim Jang suggested. Sir, let's finish the remainder of the test tomorrow. I believe you've had a little too much to drink. Su-mong questioned. What with just this much liquor? Just what do you think of me? Kim Jang replied. However, Su-mong asserted. I'll finish it in a blink of an eye, so wait just a bit. And launched the arrow. Jinwoong exclaimed. Oh dear! Dodge it! However, Dami didn't dodge the arrow and was hit by it, causing onlookers to worry. Su-mong expressed remorse, saying, Oh dear, I've done it now. He approached Dami and asked, Hey, are you alright? Assuring Dami, he said, You're fine. It avoided all the critical areas. You won't die. Don't worry. Don't be so heartbroken. Since you held out, well, you pass. Dami replied, All the same, how all those who sit at the top in this nation treat people's lives like it's just a joke. You're all the same, starting with that damn king. Su-mong remarked. Right now, are you simultaneously insulting both this nation and the king, as well as even myself? Even if I cut 3 inches of your tongue here, I hope you don't feel wrong. His words were cut short as he was hit by General Choi and fell to the ground. General Choi declared, Su-mong, you've finally done it. I will kill you here today and beg for forgiveness from His Majesty tomorrow. You, fellow, are an utter disgrace. Su-mong was born as the son of Gwiyoung, a meritorious retainer of the king during the first strife of princes. As the eldest son of a meritorious retainer, he swiftly ascended to a government position, becoming a third-class military official in the Joseon military. Alongside Choi Yundeok, renowned as the absolute perfection, Joseon's best sword, he earned titles like No One More Noble Than Myself and God-Given Talent, eventually claiming the title of Joseon's best sword. Although competent as a military official and contributing significantly to the nation, his habitual personality posed challenges. He enjoyed drinking, spoke crudely, and had indulgences with women. As he advanced in official ranks, he faced more controversies. Su-mong remarked. Heirs. The provincial governor, Choi Yundeok, inquired, Are you saying that to me right now? Su-mong retorted, Who else is there besides you? All I'm saying is that the sight of you, straightening your shoulders and putting on airs, just bothers me to the point of death. Let's settle this once, to see who the real Joseon's best sword is. Choi Yundeok exclaimed, You little, His Majesty's directive passed down a prohibition. Su-mong greeted, Look who it is. Isn't it General Choi Yundeok, the absolute perfection, Joseon's best weapons general? I will pour you a cup, so come on here. Concerned ministers approached the king, expressing their grievances about Su-mong's countless accidents. They urged the king to dismiss Su-mong and punish him severely for his wild nature and lack of proper behavior. However, Sejong intervened, stating, Stop, I will not be punishing Su-mong, so do not bring up this matter to me anymore. In the present, Damak remarked, That's right, even though Su-mong causes all those incidents, he hasn't received a proper punishment even just once. Gwiyoung expressed surprise, asking, What does something like that really exist? Just how? Damak explained, Well, it is because he is the son of a meritorious retainer. But don't you think it's because he's too competent as a military officer? Choi Yundeok intervened, instructing, What are you all doing? Bring this child to be seen by a physician immediately, free of charge. Now. Su-mong, you've finally done it. Yi Sun-mong dismissed Choi Yundeok's concerns, saying, "The old man's rambling again with his nagging. Even the municipal administrators on the streets say as such. That in Joseon, how could there be two Joseon's best? What do you think, General Choi Yundeok? Here, in this place, distinguishing who really is the actual Joseon's best sword. I think I'm the best though." Choi Yundeok sternly warned Yi Sun-mong. "Here, in this place, you truly wish to die?" Yi Sun-mong declared that he would go first and swung his sword, but Choi Yundeok easily dodged the attack. In response, Choi Yundeok expressed his intention to kill Yi Sun-mong, swinging his sword at him. Yi Sun-mong accepted the challenge, and a fierce battle ensued. After some time, Yi Sun-mong landed a successful attack, injuring Choi Yundeok and taunting him for getting old and slow. He killed Choi Yundeok, while proclaimed himself as the best sword in Joseon. However, it was revealed that he had been fighting a practice dummy, and he confidently asserted that it was all over for his opponent. Witnessing Yi Sun-mong, Kim Jang sought guidance from Choi Yundeok. Choi Yundeok, believing that Yi Sun-mong had lost his mind, criticized and trusting such a significant responsibility to him. He proceeded to kick Yi Sun-mong and ordered his immediate imprisonment, stating that there was no worth in killing him. Kim Jang then asked about the remaining candidates and the continuation of the test. Choi Yundeok recommended proceeding with the original test as planned. Jinwoong announced the failure of the 17th candidate and called for the next one. Kim Jang expressed confusion about the earlier events, questioning why shooting an arrow was the original test when the bow represented the most important weapon for Joseon. Demak also voiced his confusion about the unfolding events. Kim Jang explained that Yi Sun-mong wanted to entertain himself with the candidates. Demak remarked, "For his own pleasure. He really is an incredible person." Gwiyoung added, "However, it's true that he's strong. To the point that he didn't get punished even once despite doing all those things." Choi Yundeok inquired. "He grabbed a flying arrow with his bare hands." Jinwoong confirmed, "Yes, sir. He avoided the arrow that General Yi Sun-mong flew towards his head. I saw it, with my own eyes. But truth be told, I myself can't believe it either. I heard that child is that famous ghost Shadow from the north. Because he has been confirmed to receive His Majesty's Jade Plaque, I will transfer him now." Choi Yundeok disagreed, saying, "No, just leave it be." Jinwoong asked, "Pardon." Choi Yundeok explained, "The Jade Plaque is His Majesty's intention, not mine. Rather, it's a good opportunity. I'll have to see for myself the child's actual abilities." A little while later, Choi Yundeok took charge of directing and handling the selection test until the end. He revealed that the third test would assess participants' pure armed force, allowing each person to choose their opponent for a one-on-one combat. The outcome of the fight would not determine acceptance, rather, the focus would be on the content of the fight itself. Choi Yundeok stressed that winning alone wouldn't guarantee success if the approach was unreasonable, and conversely, even losing could lead to success if the process was commendable. He encouraged everyone to choose their opponents for the upcoming combat. Gwiyoung turned to Demak, suggesting they fight. However, Demak declined, citing the importance of types in this test. He explained that if both wanted to showcase good fighting content, having a significant difference in their builds would be disadvantageous. Curious, Gwiyoung asked if Demak's reluctance stemmed from Gwiyoung beating him up during the first round. Demak strongly denied this and emphasized that companions should not fight with each other. One person approached Demak and asked, "Hey, how about me?" Demak replied, "You have a beautiful body, alright." As everyone started forming pairs for the third test, Gwiyoung attempted to find a partner but was rejected by all. People whispered to each other, "Am I insane? That's the ghost Shadow, Gwiyoung. Who would even want to go up against him?" Choi Yundeok remarked, "Gwiyoung, are you the only one left? It can't be helped then." His conversation was interrupted by Dami, who declared, "I will go up against Gwiyoung." Choi Yundeok questioned Dami's intentions, considering his state after enduring Yi Sun-mong's wickedness. He offered to let Dami pass the third test and focus on recovering. However, Dami insisted, saying, "No. Please let me fight with this fellow." Gwiyoung tried to dissuade him, suggesting they might win by default, but Dami continued, "Hey Gwiyoung, I heard you see the illusion of your sister who kicked the dirt because of the barbarian. Why, did your sister tell you not to fight or something?" Choi Yundeok decided, "It's fine. For this test, the two of you," Gwiyoung interrupted, saying, "I will do it with him. You'll never know, even if you die. The third round of tests began, showcasing two individuals engaged in an impressive fight, blocking each other's attacks. An onlooker exclaimed, "Wow, their movements are amazing!" Gwiyoung observed the fight, wondering to himself, "What are they doing right now?" Choi Yendiak intervened a little while later, shouting, "Stop!" Approaching them, he asked, "What are you two doing?" One of the individuals replied, "We're fighting." Curious, Choi Yendiak inquired, "Do you two know each other?" Both responded, "We've been friends since childhood." Choi Yendiak sighed and said, "You're both idiots. Are you kidding me? I told you to fight, not perform a choreographed martial arts routine. Fight to the death. That is Jayaktu, intense fighting." The third test then continued. After some time, Choi Yendiak approached Woong and asked, "What are you doing? It's not over yet. Has your opponent completely surrendered?" In response, Woong kicked his opponent in the face as they tried to get up. Jinwoong declared, "The fourth contestant, Woong, wins." Witnessing this brutality, Demak commented, "That's brutal. Do they have to do that?" Demak continued, "I can understand Lee Sumong, but that nobleman isn't normal either." Jinwoong then announced, "Well, the next match will be between Gwiyoung and Dami." Demak expressed concern to Gwiyoung, questioning if it was really okay for them to face the possibility of killing each other. In response, Gwiyoung smiled and moved forward. Jinwoong then turned to Dami, asking if he was certain and suggesting that he could still withdraw from the match. Dami insisted that he was fine and wanted to face the ghost shadow, knowing it was a rare opportunity. Jinwoong instructed them to take their positions and commence the fight. As the match began, Dami stood tall and took a deep breath. To his surprise, Gwiyoung swiftly approached, aiming a kick. Dami managed to evade it by ducking, wondering when Gwiyoung had made his move. Interrupting his thoughts, Gwiyoung questioned Dami about his motives, expressing that he didn't recall harming anyone in Joseon. Dami replied, noting that Gwiyoung didn't ask his sister. He swiftly rushed forward, employing the hip pull technique to bring Gwiyoung to the ground. Choi Yendiak recognized the move as Silam. Dami continued his assault, and onlookers observed that Gwiyoung seemed completely pinned down, unable to escape. As Gwiyoung and Dami continued their intense fight, Gwiyoung strategically targeted Dami's injured parts, exploiting weaknesses and delivering a relentless assault. Dami, recognizing Gwiyoung's tactics, acknowledged his opponent's skill and resilience. In a determined effort, Dami attempted to counter and knock Gwiyoung down, employing the hip pull technique. However, Gwiyoung anticipated the move, swiftly responding with a kick to Dami's face, followed by executing a hip pull that sent Dami crashing to the ground, coughing up blood. Choi Yendiak, observing Gwiyoung's ability to learn the hip pull after experiencing it once, expressed his surprise. Gwiyoung then approached Choi Yendiak, declaring that the fight was over and he wouldn't continue. However, Choi Yendiak disagreed, stating that it didn't seem finished and suggested continuing the fight with weapons. Gwiyoung questioned if that was the general's view of combat, and at that moment, Gwiyoung grabbed Choi Yendiak's sword, unsheathing it. Proclaiming that he would take it as permission to kill Dami, Gwiyoung prepared for the next phase of the intense battle. As the intense fight continued, Demak expressed his disbelief, describing the situation as being filled with lunatics and questioning the permissibility of using military spears. Dami addressed Gwiyoung as the Ghost Shadow, and Gwiyoung declared that he would consider it permission to kill Dami. However, Choi Yendiak objected, emphasizing that while weapons could be used, killing Dami was not allowed, and Gwiyoung should subdue him instead. Jinwoong expressed concern about the harshness of the situation, and Choi Yendiak explained that they were seeking informants and needed to gather information without killing everyone. Gwiyoung, following Choi Yendiak's instruction, dropped the sword, stating that he still didn't know how to avoid killing people with a sword and emphasized that he wouldn't kill any Joseon. Meanwhile, Dami recalled a memory from when his village was attacked by barbarians. He pleaded with his father to wake up and escape, but his father, resigned to the situation, expressed despair and a willingness to die together. The memory highlighted Dami's past experiences and the challenges he faced. A short time later, Dami's father were killed by barbarian. As he sit near his father's dead body, a passing barbarian took notice of Dami. Observing Dami, one of the barbarians stated, "Hey, there's one more over there. Go search." The second barbarian inquired, "Which fool missed him?" The first barbarian instructed, "Bring him here. Didn't I tell you to bring all the young ones as slaves first?" The second barbarian then addressed Dami, "Hey kid, you have to come with us." As they moved from Dami's house, Dami reflected, "This is all because of them. Because of them, mother and father, me too, and that kid in the same situation as me." Turning to glance at the other child, Dami felt surprise and confusion at what unfolded. Hearing a noise from behind, the barbarian in front turned around and queried, "What are you doing? Get up! What happened?" Perceiving blood on the barbarian, confusion overcame him. Simultaneously, the child used a dagger to eliminate the barbarian. Dami pondered, "What did I see just a while ago?" He witnessed Gwiyoung skillfully dispatch the barbarian. Shortly after, Dami expressed gratitude saying thank you. "Who are you?" Gwiyoung responded, "Children, don't guard themselves. They easily let their guard down, these damn barbarians. If they are separated from the group, you can kill them. So don't die in a place like this, survive to kill more of them. To do that you need to stay alive." Dami asked, "Stay alive? I really?" His discourse faced an interruption as Gwiyoung exclaimed, "You're here? I killed them all. It's okay, Dami. I'm okay too, listen to your brother." This declaration left Dami perplexed as he attempted to caution Gwiyoung. Gwiyoung, turning his attention to his sister, and said, "This is all for you too, Dongi, and he won't stop until I wipe out all the barbarians." Seizing Gwiyoung by the neck, a barbarian interrogated, "What is this situation? Is this all you're doing?" "No way! I don't know what you did, but you're all screwed, these slaves." Observing a nearby spear, Dami swiftly moved to acquire it. Simultaneously, the barbarian declared, "That's why I said we should cut off all the Josians." Amidst coughs, Gwiyoung urged, "Kill them." This left the barbarian bewildered, prompting him to inquire, "What?" In that moment, Dami leaped to eliminate the barbarian. Returning to the present, the intense battle between Gwiyoung and Dami raged on. Gwiyoung cautioned, "Hey kid, killing is forbidden, you know. This is clearly a killing intent." In response, Dami asserted, "Do it right. If you made me like this. If I had to keep living in this darn Josian." Initiating an attack, Dami rushed towards Gwiyoung, who, in turn, seized the spear, attempting to choke Dami with it. Gwiyoung declared, "Let's end this." Undeterred, Dami insisted, "No. This is, do it right. Like a ghost shadow." In reply, Gwiyoung clarified, "No, ghost shadow is only killing the damn barbarians." Dami, finding amusement, started laughing. Gwiyoung questioned, "Are you laughing now?" Dami responded, "Can't you tell, really?" Choi Yundiak announced, "Gwiyoung wins." The next match was set between Yangnu and Dumak. Yangnu, flexing his muscles, proclaimed, "Come on! Let's have a pure battle of strength and power! Open your muscles!" As Yangnu approached Dumak, he swung a wooden stick for an attack. Dumak remarked, "You who have a strong and beautiful body. The strength of a human is not in the body but in the intellect, knowing that it hurts even when hit by a rotten branch. That kind of intellect." This concludes the second part of this manhwa. If you enjoyed it, remember to show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel to stay tuned for future updates.